That's right, you read the title. Whilst it might seem harsh, it really is the truth. Winston Overwatch isn't a bad tank. It's you. Most people like to treat him like the funny monkey tank, which I'll admit, yes, he can be. But the truth is that he can actually be a really good part of your team. It's just that you don't know how to play him properly. But don't worry. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can reach your maximum potential as the peanut butter loving gorilla. But first, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as I want to continue making Overwatch 2 content that's not only entertaining, but educational too. Anyways, let's talk about the basics. His kit consists of his rocket jump, his shield, and his Tesla gun. Not that kind of Tesla, that Tesla. Yep, yeah, that's the one. There we go. Now, what most people do is go in and pop shield whilst attacking, slowly reaching the point when they could be doing something much more useful, diving the enemy supports. Why is this more effective? Because if the enemy DPS and tank don't have supports, they start dropping like flies. A lot of people forget that Winston's rocket jump deals damage, and this extra damage is what's going to make it easier for you to melt the supports in the backline. Jump on top of them like a Goomba, put your shield down so they can't damage you back, and then cook them. If you start to get low, disengage immediately. You're an important part of the team as the tank, so less times that you die means less times that the team fight is lost and ultimately the entire game. As long as you never break line of sight from your supports, you should see yourself picking off the backline efficiently. The second important thing is creating the off angles for your team with your secondary fire. What is an off angle, I hear you ask? The best way to explain it is like this. So on first point Eichenwald, there's two places that you can defend from. The top of the bridge or in the underpass. If your team is attacking from the underpass, you go attack on the bridge. People generally can't focus on two things at once. So you can fire away at the enemy team whilst they're panicking, trying to figure out what they should do. Do they attack the strongest, beefiest hero on the enemy team, or do they go and attack four squishier enemies that still pack a punch? Now, you will be getting focus fired at, but that's time where they aren't attacking your supports. So your supports can heal you without getting sent back to spawn. Not only does this give you the opportunity to get picks on the enemy squishies, but it can create a lot of space for your team to play in too. Why do this with your secondary fire? Because it has much more range and less of a damage fall off than your primary fire rate. The last important thing is definitely one that gets overlooked, and that's getting the most out of Winston's ult. A lot of people whinge about Primal being underpowered and needing nano or mercy damage boost to even get kills, but that just tells me that you're bad. You don't need this, you just need to know when to use it and why to use it. There's a few factors to take into consideration, but it's mainly this. When you know the team fights are winnable, use Primal. If they don't have a tank or either supports, you can get some pretty easy picks on the other enemies, even if it is just pushing them back into spawn and creating space, which is another factor. Your job as a tank is to create breathing room for your teammates to fight in so they can position themselves and secure the picks much easier than if they were all fighting in one spot. Make the space to allow your Tracer and Sombra to flank and get cheeky picks on the Ana and Kiriko. The last reason as to when you should pop your ult as Winston is simply to keep yourself alive. If you're down to 200 HP and know that your supports can't heal you, your ult gets you back up to over 1k health instantly. Obviously, only do this in fights that you know you can A, dip out of if you need to, and B, that you can 100% survive in. There's no point doing this when you're 1v1ing a Bastion who has turret form, because he will just turn you into a piece of Swiss cheese. Hopefully you understand that Winston is much more than just a meme tank, so much more than just funny monkey. He can be a very useful tank if you know how to play him. And hopefully this video has told you much more about the kind of playstyle you should be using when you play him. Diving squishier enemies like the supports on the backline or the overextended DPS is where he really shines. But Sniper Monkey can be useful to finish off enemies too. Just don't be that guy that spams the Shadow Puppets emote. You guys are weird. Just don't do that. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Once again, I'm going to ask you to like this video, as it lets me know that you find these videos not only to be helpful, but entertaining. Let me know if you have any requests for other heroes in the comments below, and subscribe so you don't miss that guide when it comes out. There are some heroes that I probably won't be able to make a guide on, simply because I don't play them enough. But there are many more heroes on the list that I can make guides on than I can't make guides on. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure to check out my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might as well too.